All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Finance Friday, and we're going to get right into mythicmarkets.com as promised. I was not sponsored by Mythic Markets. I just want to be upfront. I find the topic very fascinating. In fact, I did a round of video at first, and then I talked to my friend Open Boosters, which I actually put the link of the video below about the topic. He actually made a video first about kind of what it is, and he brought up one of the most compelling issues with Mythic Markets is basically the evaluation of their BGS 9 Alpha Black Lotus, which we'll get into. First things first, for those of you who do not know mythicmarkets.com is, check it out. Basically, it's a lot of information, a lot of FAQs, a lot of fancy legal jargon. Do not, get bored reading it, but it does tell you up front that it is basically a way to invest in non-sport kind of collectibles, comic book stuff in the future. I think they have like magic stuff, Pokemon, stuff like that in our era growing up, my era of growing up. And, and it's one of those things that it's an interesting idea. They paint out an idea where let's look at the flowery picture. You're sitting here, on your, morning, day, afternoon, whatever. You're thinking, man, I really want to own a Black Lotus. But I don't have $100,000 or whatever. So what am I going to do? Oh, you know what? I can buy a piece of a Black Lotus. And if it goes up, I will make some money. And then you could brag to your friends that you have a Black Lotus or have part of a Black Lotus. Stop right there. Number one, you're not owning crap, like Open Booster says. This is all about profit and money and gains and potentially losses. This is all about money. So for those of you who love Finance Friday, this is the video for you. The question you have to ask yourself is, Mythic Markets, basically a brokerage firm, okay, because you can use other ways. I'll explain it to you later. A brokerage firm that basically has non-sport collectibles, and you can basically buy into that and buy a piece. So I think they have, like 2,000 shares at $60 and change or whatever, something like that. So, and what's funny is they launched at GP Seattle 2019 this year, and they had a booth and Channel Fireball sponsoring them or working with them. Partnering with him, whatever. And even Cassius Marsh, the NFL football player, has a picture on their Instagram with some of the guys there, just wearing their purple T-shirts. Mythic Markets. But I think not the Lotus isn't even like 20% paid, funded. No one wants it. Why? Why would no one want an Alpha Black Lotus? It's absolutely stunning to me. Why wouldn't they want that? Is the price evaluation too much? Do people not believe in Mythic Markets? Is the whole idea just stupid? Let's find out. So I was thinking about this deep, and, talking to Open Boosters. I really feel like there's actually a multiple, I've come to the conclusion that there's actually one major thing that I've noticed. The idea of Mythic Markets is cool. Let me be honest. I thought of the idea actually years ago, and I'm not saying that, coulda, shoulda, woulda. No. I actually thought about starting a company or doing an idea like this. Why doesn't Magic become like a stock or a hedge fund or a mutual fund or a fund, right? Like a on a stock market thing, and a tradable asset. And it actually came to be that, hey, it's just not something I don't have enough connections with yet. And also, it's legally just something I'm not into. I don't have the information and understanding. So they've actually done a lot of that legal dirty work, which I see that it's been, obviously they filed with the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, got approval. And so they're doing it the right way, that way. The biggest problem I see is the execution of the marketing and how it goes about for not only evaluations, but I also don't think they got the right uh, portfolio and experts and everything. Just all that whole thing doesn't make any sense. See, if I was a fund and I want you to buy into a fund, let me just be clear. Having a show at GP Seattle as my main marketing thing doesn't work. See, you go online or you go like on TV or whatever, there's pharmaceutical ads about buying this pill, or you have like, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, different companies having their online ads where trade with us, invest in us, because they want your money so they can invest and make more money, and then in turn everybody wins, right? So Mythic Markets has done nothing. I haven't seen a Facebook ad, like a sponsored ad. I haven't seen an actual, I haven't seen any kind of marketing video. I've seen nothing. Have you? Have you seen any kind of video? Have you seen any kind of understanding who's the face of the company? How does this work? Why should you invest? Have you had product experts that actually sell magic cards? High-end magic cards? No one. Zip. I don't know one person. Oh, I'm sorry. John Sassow, nice guy, Channel Fireball owner, president, CEO, like they like to say on their videos. He's kind of involved saying, hey, this is a cool company, but does he sell high-end magic cards? See, the whole thing, and it's also, another thing is it's biased. The whole entire thing with Mythic Markets is that their price evaluation issue is because it's biased. It's what they think. It's what they put $125,000 Alpha Lotus, but Open Boosters pointed out that there was one that sold for about 141, and then one sold recently for 101, and it's grossly overpriced. And so as an investor buying into an IPO, let's say you count the Black Lotus like a company, you're overpaying a lot, right? And so it doesn't make any kind of sense. There's no price movement like, hey, like people would actually be like, oh, actually let's lower the price. That's usually how stocks work. They start at an opening price, and then basically it doesn't get bought at a certain price, and it goes down because then people get, are more interested at this price. There's a bid-ask system. This situation is more like they bought the card when it was like $75K or something, and now they're reselling it for $125K or whatever, trying to get sold. And they're also charging, by the way, no commissions or fees, which is quite interesting, because they're basically taking property that they've obtained and selling it at a marked up price. Whoa, that's kind of interesting. Why would you do that? Well, it's kind of like this. That's kind of what I thought about was, why is it that I don't just sell all my cards that I have and offer it to the public and do the same exact thing? But instead, I'm just going to ask whatever the hell I want. I'm going to say, well, that's just what I want for it. Well, that's that's just the market price. That's what they wrote, the market price. They didn't write retail price like what's a retail buyer would buy. That's the market price. Well, that's BS because the market changes all the time. If I ask for $100 million for my entire inventory and collection of my business, is that a real market evaluation? That's what I want. That's a Daniel Chang wants. But the way you should go about this is a third party. And this is kind of interesting because in stocks, you have all these other like companies that write about articles, do videos like CNBC, Jim Cramer, you got Moody's, and all those other people like talking about Morningstar or whatever. They all talk about different type of stocks and bonds or whatever, and they give you their research. It's like when you buy like any kind of car. You have like the Auto Traders, you have the Top Gear, you have the Jeremy Clarkson that made their own auto thing. Like all these auto magazines, Fifth Gear. It doesn't matter, right? If you're a car guy. Every company makes their own, there's a business based off of evaluating things. So this third-party independent marketing, like evaluation of a stock or whatever, or in this case, the Alpha Black Lotus, what they should have done was considered getting market unbiased information from different, either, could be from me, because I obviously sell the cards, people that sell the cards or experts in the game, whatever you need to do. Get their unbiased opinions, post them publicly online, and share with them, hey, look, this is the opinions of these experts. Obviously, we are not, we pay these people, right, to give, this is for their services. We didn't pay them to make their, to lean towards opinion. And this is what they think. Based off that opinion, we're able to come out with this 125,000 fairy dust price. And that makes more sense. That actually makes more convincing. But I don't even think that actually is the reason why it's not even funded. I think the main reason why it's not funded is because the amount of actual demand for an Alpha 9 Black Lotus is actually not as high as you think, even though you break it up at 2,000 shares at $60, because $60 is still a lot of money to some people. In order to actually convince people, you actually have to have a sales and marketing team. You have to actually convince people show people what it is. We're not talking about a hard sell here. We're saying, hey, do you invest in things already? Yes, I do. Okay. What are your goals? What are you looking to obtain? Do you have 401k? Do you have a job, pension, whatever? See, the current financial system, you have what you call, the financial advisor. Interesting. And Edward Jones, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, all those guys. They all have it. Chase, all of them, all the big banks. See, this situation, while it's not as much money, but you're trying to possibly do other products, you need to come out with a better range of products and have a financial advisor. For example, if I was to do it, if I was the CEO or if I was in charge of this, I would have rolled out having financial advisors or product experts, advisors, whatever, gamer, geek, invest, whatever way you want to do that. And have one-on-one relationships and contact people to get people invested. The maximum investment, I believe they capped it at, was 10%. 10% was the maximum investment for any item. I actually disagree. That's stupid. And the reason why I say that's stupid is because what if someone wants to just buy the item right now and they want to just invest in the item? See, if your goal is to actually get people to invest, I don't care if you're a whale. I don't care if you're just a guy who works at Taco Bell and makes wants to put in one share at $60, $65, whatever the hell it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? You want to give people the opportunity to invest. But if your goal is to have like 2,000 people with 2,000, everybody have one share, it's a huge mess. That's not the way the world works. That's not the way stocks works. I mean, there's people with millions of shares, like I don't know, like 5% of the company, type of thing, right? Because there's so many shares. It's not, it's one of those things where why would you cap that? I don't understand that. That just makes absolutely zero sense to me. So that's what I would do. I would have the financial advisor route and a better sales and marketing to kind of grow that relationship, a bigger product line. So the other thing is, right now you have this BGS 9 Alpha Lotus sitting there doing absolutely nothing. In fact, I even messaged on their Facebook page, Mythic Markets, because their website is basically goes to that page too. They basically just said, we're going to get more products in the future. Sounds fine. Pictures of comic books, random other cool things from non-sports stuff. But what timeline? How's it going to work? See, the thing is, if you're investing into like a Lotus and you believe that this company is not just going to just crash and fail. See, that's the other part I want to get into. I'm putting in, even though it's $60, it's 60 something dollars into this Alpha Lotus stock that I don't even know if I'm going to get back anytime soon. I don't know if this company is going to fail. How do I get my money back? It's very, very confusing. So I did read some of the fine print, and it does say in the fine print that, hey, look, there's like a vote you got to have, like Open Booster said in the video, you have to have like If there's a gain or a sale, all the shareholders have to vote and all that thing. So that's cool. However, it's not clear as day, right? You know how you have those nice graphics with all those fancy things you're selling, what we do, all that. You're like, what we do, how we do it. It should say at what point do we actually. All right, guys, welcome back. Sorry about that. So my video got cut off because it was overheating. That's funny. It's kind of hot over here. So back to what I was saying. Let's get back into this part. The situation is that on the website, it's very difficult to understand how or when the exit strategy is. And that needs to be more outlined, more clear. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why investors in this type of sector don't understand is that when you have collectibles and you have things like that. Hey, Nick, want to say hi? You have collectibles and such like that. You have a situation where people don't really want to have their money held up. And stocks and like trading accounts and such, you could sell them very quickly. Now, on their FAQ, which you have to search for and read about, basically they say, well, we're going to be developing something in the future. Hold on tight. Hold on tight. What does that mean, though? Like if I put in $1,000 of my money in investing in this stock, is it just sitting there? So I thought about this, and I talked to Open Boosters about this, and I realized something with him. That the way they're making their money, because they're not charging brokerage fees, is not only the product, the interest. Just like Robinhood. They are holding money, getting interest off it. And if you have enough money, now, this one thing isn't enough, but if you have millions, hundreds of millions at one point, of money, and you make the interest off it, it's amazing, right? And in the case of Robinhood, they're doing billions, I'm sure. So that is why I think that's another vehicle for them to make money. And they're also going to be charging brokerage fees in the future. So obviously, I don't think they have to tell you that because it's kind of like, or maybe they do tell you that. I don't know. But that's how they're making their money. People ask me, well, how are they making their money? That's what I think happens. My honest opinion is if you were to give me, people have asked me, should I do it? They've actually called me and say, hey, is this a thing to do? What do you think? Honestly, at this current time, I wouldn't do it. I'm sorry, guys at Mythic Markets. I'm going to forward you this link of this video too. I don't endorse it. I don't, and this is not an endorsement to them. It's just a review. I don't endorse it. I don't think the product is good enough to put out to the public the way they did it. I don't think they did enough sales and marketing and research in general of the marketplace, how it works. I don't think they understand what graded cards are in terms of how it works for grading, because just because it's a 9, BGS 9, the subgrades are why the prices are what gives the market. And if the quality of the card meets the subgrades. Wow, that's a little confusing. It is. For someone who doesn't understand it, like just Timmy Bob, who essentially just has a job and wants to, hey, I want to own a piece of a Black Lotus. It sounds great. And if that's what you're attracting to, you may or may get some hitters. But remember, those people at $60 a share generally don't really understand about investing and stuff like that. They're not really investing in stocks. They're not investing in 401k. At $60, that's really their money to buy a partial box or a draft at F&M. Think about what you're doing here. The people you want to target are people that have current investments, commodities, stocks, whatever, bonds, looking for retirement, 40s, 50s, and 60s is great type of thing. You need to actually target those type of people with more wealth. I'm not making fun of the people who are starting out in their careers, but let's be honest, $60 for a stock for something is a lot of money. And the concept of actually investing into something and never seeing the money, so long-term investing, this concept is actually something that people with kids, retirement aspirations, that type of thing, investment portfolios, those people are the ones you should be contacting. All right. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm just baloney here? I think I laid out most of the law of the land here. If you work for Mythic Markets and if you know anybody, have them contact me. My information is vintagemagic.com. Go to contact us. My cell phone's on there. My email's on there. Contact me. I think you're in the Bay Area. I go there once in a while. We can make a meeting out of it. I love to get involved and help out, but I don't think the execution, and I do not think the way you've gone about this is the way that will be successful for the company to survive. See you later, guys. Take care. Have a great Friday.